What's going on? We back with some more boxing talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfella talking about Jermell Charlo, saying that he ain't moving up, man, to 160. He said he completely good. He said he shocked the WBC with his 30-day weigh-in. He gonna shock him when they ask him for a 7-day weigh-in. He's hydrated. He said he's feeling good at making the weight. I'll link the article in the description. And he says primarily for him not wanting to move up to 160 is because he loved the separation between his brother. You know, he don't want them to be compared. He wanted to be able to run his division and let his brother run middleweight. So, don't expect Jermell Charlo to move up anytime soon, man. You know, unless he really can't make it. But he said he making the weight easy. And he's a little bit shorter than his brother by a couple inches. And they got a couple different body frames. So, he wanted to just stay at 154. And that's understandable. He started his career December 2007 as a welterweight. So he's moved up. He's been at 154 since 2011, according to the article. And he happy there, you know. And he obviously wants to fight Swift Jerry Hurd. He wants to get all the belts and reign over the 154-pound division. Now, the 154-pound division isn't the glamorous division in overall in history because it wasn't one of the original weight classes. It's one of the weight classes they created. So, you know, a couple like catchweight weight classes like 140. You know, 154, and, you know, those in-between weight classes. So, you know, eventually I would like to see him move up to 160. I think the other Charlo brother might have the ability to move up to 168 because of the height and the length and his physical prowess. So, eventually I think he should want to move up to 160, you know, but he said he loved the separation from Jermell, and, you know, he wants to continue to doing what he do at 154 and continue to pound the best there. And, you know, eventually, you know, he said he loved the separation from his brother, but eventually he going to have to share some of the accolades with his stablemate Earl Spence. You know, I don't know if he gave that a lot of thought. So eventually, if he get all the belts, you know, eventually he's probably going to relinquish some of those belts because of the sanctioning body fees that come with the belts. Well, if he don't, eventually if Earl Spence move up, he going to want one of those belts, and that's going to be a dilemma right there. So it's going to be just like reigning with his brother with Earl Spence. And I understand that's a different type of bond in a stablemate than your actual twin brother. But, I mean, it is what it is. Because what is the chances that his brother is going to unify and become undisputed at 160? You see Triple G got 3 of the belts, and he really, you know, ain't trying to be unified champion. So, you know, the Klitschko brothers reigned over, and, you know, it wasn't too much of a hard comparison between them. But it's a little bit different, you know, with twins, I would guess. So, you know. But, you know, I would love to see him move up to 160 eventually. But like I said, if you can make the weight, there's no debate. And I don't think people know how big this guy walks around at when they talk about Swift Jerry Hurd and him. I know Swift Jerry Hurd is absolute huge, and he got a melon on his head as big as 10 watermelons. But, you know, Charlo's a big junior middleweight as well. I think he might walk, I don't know what he walks around in, probably in the 190s. So, I mean, the size discrepancy won't be an issue between him and Swift Jerry Hurd. You know, obviously that's what he wants as his crossover fight. But the division he had now is really no crossover fights. You know, Jaime Munguia still got to build himself up, you know, and he will if he continues to win. Swift Jerry Hurd is building himself up, and Charlo hasn't had a career-defining victory. You know, people ask me, why do you don't have him in your them in your pound for pound, both of them? I said they ain't had that crossover fight. Man, you know, I can't be a hypocrite and put them in my pound for pound list. When I say it's about resume and having, you know, that 50-50 crossover fight, neither one of them has had it. So, but, you know, Jermell, you know, it's a good fighter. You know, great. He could potentially be a great fighter. He had a lot of tough fights coming up, too. You know, now he with Derek James, he's changing his style. And he wants to reign over the 154-pound division for however long he wants to. I have no issue with it. You know, he wants to stay there and, you know, continue to defeat all comers. You know, Danny Garcia eventually said he want to move up there. Earl Spence. You're going to have some guys moving up in that 154-pound division as well. That's going to make noise. There's always some young prospects, some guys that want to move up. And he's trying to create a logjam at the top with him being the ultimate king of 154. And, you know, power to him. And I tip my hat off to the brother. And hopefully, he reaches all of his endeavors and all his goals. And he can retire, you know, with all his faculties and a good peace of mind. And with a legacy intact that, you know, is matched by no other for him and his twin Jamal. So, you know, this is Jermell, the 154-pound WC champion, and it's time for him to start unifying and going to catch those gooses and hunt down those motherfucking people like Swift Jerry Hurd and Jaime Munguia and get the recognition that he deserved. But it's the Boxing Clinic and more. Told you guys I had that heat, more videos on the way. And don't forget to check the links in the description. We on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Y'all know what it is. We gone.